Well, what about airsoft sniper rifles? Well, what about airsoft sniper rifles? What's going on, Airsofters of YouTube? I am Diles46. If you've been following me for a while, you might have seen previous episodes of a project we did called Diles46 Straight Talk. It's where you guys give me some questions in the comment section on YouTube or other social media networks, and I answer them to the best I can with my opinion. I'm going to kind of sidestep that platform. We're going to try something new. I've been getting a lot of kind of broad questions, generalized questions from not only local players here in Kansas City, but all over the interwebs. So I'm going to kind of tackle the hard hitters right now, man. Warning, I'm going to offend a lot of you guys. So get the tissues out. Right. Here we go. So about once a day, I get messaged from the Intrigue Airsoft Supply Company website or on Facebook about what kind of upgrades we do. Do we offer tech service? What can we do? What kind of tech work would I recommend as far as upgrade work type things goes? Can I put, some SHS 12-to-1 gears with a high-speed motor and this and that inside a JG? What can I do to get my Black Ops going? What can I do to, get my kind of run-of-the-mill competition grade, usually an M4, because let's be honest, that's the most popular one out there as far as AEG goes. What can I do to get this thing better than it is? All right, guys, here we go. Your airsoft gun is optimized by the manufacturer to perform optimally, which means that it's out of the box gonna be the best gun that it is, okay? As far as wear and tear, as far as longevity, as far as dependability, things like that. Once you start pushing on these things, as far as AEG terms go, once you start putting in heavier springs, you start putting in high-speed motors or high-torque motors to pull that heavier spring, things like that, a lot more wear and tear. It's a lot harder on your gearbox, okay? Think about it. That piston slamming a lot harder against the front of that gearbox. Now, there are upgrade gearboxes you can get out there that'll prevent the front of that gearbox from cracking off. I've seen it all too many times. My big thing is you push these AEG gearboxes too far, especially the version 2 box, it's gonna push back. It's gonna push back. It's gonna push back. All right? These things are optimized out of the box, okay? So the way you get it is probably the best that it's gonna be, and I wouldn't push it too much further as far as performance, okay? Stop trying to nickel and dime these things, squeezing another 10 foot of range out of it at the cost of limiting the lifespan of your gun, okay? So before I get too far, here's the big deal, man. A lot of these, and I know this is kind of commonplace now, so I'm going back. Here we go. I know a lot of guys don't like to talk about the back in the day shit, but it is a thing that I need to touch base on. Back in the day, all right, your optimized gearbox is probably going to be a Tokyo Marui, okay? And that's what all these gearboxes, for the most part, are based on. Yeah, there's been little tweaks, little perfections, things like that. Mostly proprietary type stuff that really wasn't an improvement and didn't even be done in the first place to the already perfect Tokyo Marui gearbox design. And so these companies, all these Chinese clone companies, you're talking JG, Sima, D-Boys, A&K, all this stuff that we love for a great price, and it works great out of the box for the most part. This is the stuff that's breaking down fast. Well, you got to ask yourself, why is it breaking down fast, okay? Bear with me, guys. I'm getting to my point here. It's all going to come full circle. So you got to ask yourself, why is this stuff breaking down so fast? You know what I mean? Is it just cheap Chinese crap? Well, maybe. Yeah, there's definitely some QC, some quality control issues on this stuff. But think about this for a minute. The Tokyo Marui gearbox, the inventor that everyone else has copied, okay? What were their guns shooting out of the box? What was their M4A1 or any other M4 original AEG series shooting out of the box? About 280, 290, 300 if you're, really pushing it, maybe with a Type 4 barrel. That was kind of optimized. And by optimized, I mean that M90 spring pounding the piston and not, breaking off the front of your gearbox type stuff. All the wear and tear, from the excess pull on the gears to the motor, all that stuff. It was optimized shooting 280, 290 with a .20 gram BB. That's Tokyo Marui. So then you get all these other companies that say, well, people upgrade their Maruis all the time to shoot 350, 400 feet per second, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure we do. Sure we did. And let's go ahead and do that right out of the box. But you have to understand, if you are taking it to the next level, it's not going to last as long as a 280, 290 feet per second Tokyo Marui. People that have bone stock Tokyo Maruis, and you can still find them out there. They are plentiful. The Tokyo Marus you're finding on eBay that people are saying I've had for 10 years, it's still shooting stock, and it still works. It's still going to churn like a dream and shoot laser beams. It's going to shoot sticks of BBs. I promise you, and it's going to sound great, just like the first day you took it out of the box. So you got to take that into account, man. Tokyo Marui set the bar for optimization of what the version 2 gearbox is capable of handling. We took it upon ourselves to say, yeah, 290 is nice. I'd like 350. You know what I mean? And we did that, and that was fine. And we cracked gearboxes. Okay, that's nothing new. Everyone knows that. You go back, 10 years ago, everyone knows that. You start putting a heavier spring in your gearbox. You put your metal bushings or whatever you want in there as well, so they don't, you're not shredding gears, things like that. The plastic bushings will wear down and your gears will get sideways, whatever. I'm talking about the extra wear and tear from a heavier spring. Okay, so it's come to be like a household thing that if it's not 400 feet per second, well, then it's a piece of crap, and that is just bullshit. It's an absolute perversion of the Airsoft AEG, especially when it comes to like what we're talking about, the M4 version 2 type gearbox. And I think the big issue is I don't think people are necessarily 100% committed, you know what I mean, to go the whole mile as far as the work and the final cost of a full upgrade to make it work, you know what I mean, to make it not break down after a couple months. A lot of times people want to half-ass stuff. They want to put a heavier spring in their deal. They want to put some high-speed gears, some high-speed motors in there, and they're going to start stripping stuff. They're stripping pistons, they're breaking gearboxes, they're stripping motor heads. The big question is like the fountain of youth for an airsoft gun. What's the perfect recipe for an upgraded airsoft gun where it won't break down? There is one, maybe. I don't know. I've yet to see it. I just got a buddy that I read about on Facebook the other day that's having to send his Systema personal training system, his PTS, the best of the best M4 in for service because it rips some gears. Anything mechanical is going to break down. You have to understand that anything mechanical, if it has moving parts, it's going to eventually break down. That's just the nature of how stuff works. There is no forever with this stuff. And maybe chasing that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is going to run you into a thunderstorm. Now, I will say this, the best upgrade you can do for any stock gun out of the box, if it's shooting good, if it's got good hop-up rubber, and you're getting close to that, you're getting good accuracy and good range in that 150 to 200 feet mark, maybe a little bit further, and the hop-up rubber's good, leave it. A Type 4 barrel is always a great drop-in upgrade, and you're not messing with the gearbox. The minute you start toying with the gearbox, that is my rant about everyone wanting to upgrade their guns. Again, take it from me, bone stock and ready to rock. If you're popping 350 and you're getting good range and you're satisfied with it, and you're rocking and roll with a 9.6, maybe a 7.4, or even an 11.1 LiPo, leave it as it is. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. We'll catch you next time, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about upgrading guns and going the full mile, or the guys that kind of half-ass it and don't upgrade them to optimal performance. And I know there's going to be tons of guys out there like, oh no, I know gearbox work, I did this, or I had this company do this gearbox work for me. That's cool, man. Let's talk in a few months after you played like every weekend with it. You know what I mean? Let's talk when it breaks down, because it's going to, like everything else. Let me see if I can put it in terms. So here's the deal. I could probably feed NOS through a stock Ford Fiesta engine and do some awesome street racing for like maybe 2 weekends. Maybe, I don't know. We could probably do some really cool stuff, but it's not going to last that long. Does that make sense? You leave that Ford Fiesta stock, it's going to last you for 10 years. Change the oil, you know what I mean? Change the oil, rotate the tires type thing. But the minute you start feeding NOS to the engine, it's going to probably blow up and kill you.